Hello and welcome to ET Garage. I'm Eugene Tordo, and today's video is I finally finished up the AC on the C4 Corvette. All right, the air conditioning on the C4 Corvette is up and running. We just got over a heat wave here in the Northeast, and I think most of the country. Of course, now that it's over, I got the AC fixed. And if I think you've seen my last video, I couldn't get it to run right. It was fluctuating the needle on the gauges, and I couldn't get it the compressor to engage, except only if I bypass the low pressure switch. And that was turned out to be because of this. This is a variable flow orificer. This one here is the OEM original orificer style, the type you're supposed to use. This one here is variable, and the idea, this is when you're at idle, it varies the opening, and that is supposed to help increase cooling at idle. And then once you're underway, it's supposed to just open up and work normal. According to my research, the reason this wouldn't work is because I have the C68 climate control system. And the C68 climate control system has a computer, and it automatically adjusts your temperature and everything, and monitors your pressure and all that stuff. And what happens is anytime the pressure falls below a certain point, which I think is maybe 20 psi, it kicks off the compressor, and it sends a signal to the computer in the climate control system, and it sets off a flashing light, which will bring up a code and will not let the air conditioning system go back on until it's fixed and you reset the climate control computer. If I had a manual climate control system, not too many C4s have them. They, even though the C68 climate control system was optional, the majority of the C4s that I see all have the climate control system, the C68 climate control system. If I had the manual system, this would have worked. It would have just fluctuated up and down, and it wouldn't have kicked the computer off, and it would have been fine. But because the computer kicks off the AC system and let it come back on until you clear the code and shows the right pressure, you have to use the factory one. And that's what happened with mine. So I ended up having to get it evacuated. I didn't have any more EnviroSafe, so I put 134A in there, because I put PAG oil in there, which is what's compatible with 134A. I think if I was going to do this again, because my system is the R12 system from the factory, the older R12, instead of using PAG oil or mineral oil, I would have used ester oil. Ester oil is compatible with both R12 and the newer refrigerants. So I could go either way. Now, before I had a leak, and I was running EnviroSafe designed for R12. That R12, that stuff is also compatible with all the other coolants, with the R134A and the 1234. That new coolant that's out, that comes on all the newer cars, or refrigerant. I could have put that stuff back in there, and that would have been fine too, because that's compatible with both types of oils. But I did the 134A, and I hated it. All during this heat wave, I barely had, it would get a little cold air. It was more comfortable than being outside, but it wasn't great. It wasn't nowhere as good as the EnviroSafe. So I ended up getting this evacuated and going back to this. Now, another problem I had was my gauges decided to stop working. These gauges right here, yeah, they decided to stop working. And the reason they stopped working was, for some reason, these couplers wouldn't work anymore. For some reason, they wouldn't. This little piece in there, when you screw this all the way in, this piece in there, in the middle there, that brass piece, that comes outward and presses on the Schrader valve. For some reason, it will not go out far enough anymore to press the Schrader valve. Now, I tried playing with this screw and everything else to get it to work. It wouldn't work. I ended up going on Amazon and ordering another set of couplers. High and a low. They're two different sizes. The high will not fit on the low, and the low will not fit on the high, which is a good thing. So I got basically two bad AC couplers that are useless. Another thing you need to know, like depending on your can, like these are the puncture style cans. Here's one that's punctured. Here's one that's not. If you're going to be using with the gauges, like I have, you got to be careful when you get these type of adapters for the can. Like this here, see how it's blunt on the end, that little pin in the middle? It's not designed to puncture the can. The one that I have on here, there's still some stuff in here, so I'm leaving it on. This has the needle, and it's designed to puncture the can like that there is punctured. So keep that in mind. Now, with the R134A, at the event, I was getting about 62 degrees at idle, and about 55 going down the highway. I haven't taken this car out on the highway yet because the heat wave's over, and it's raining out, and it's like only 70 degrees. But on a day like today with humidity, and this is the system for the R12, and I'm going to say I'm about 80% humidity, 70 degrees, low side PSI 30, so that's what I have it at. 30 to 34 is what I did, because we're somewhere between 70 and 80, so that's what I did. And according to this, average AC air discharge, this is at the center, the center vent, left center vent, should be between 36 and 43 degrees at 70 and at 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's what I'm at. So hopefully when it gets up into 90, it'll be between 36 and 43 also. I'm just going to have to find out. But the pressures, the low and high side pressures are good. I put in filled it according to the R12 specifications. R34A is designed to work at a lot higher pressure, and I did put it in higher pressure. And I seen various different charts online. Some said up to 70, some said like 40 to when I was charging it should be about 50, and so I ended up charging it to 50, and anyway, either way, I wasn't happy with it. Of course, with EnviroSafe, if you go to take your system to be serviced to some place that works on AC systems, they may not touch your car. You'll have to get someplace that will evacuate it and all that good stuff. And so just keep that in mind. Some say this stuff here is flammable. I've heard that this R134A is flammable also, though. So just something to keep in mind. I got to wait for a really hot day to give this thing a real good test. Based on my experience with EnviroSafe before, with the old compressor, which is over there in the vise, I don't know if you can see it, and my old evaporator, it blew really cold. Yeah, it blew really cold. A lot of times I would just, I would actually cycle my AC off and on manually. We just let it get real cold in there and cycle it off. It would just get too cold for me. Of course, I'm an old guy, so that's something to keep in mind. So I guess that's about it for this video. I got to try and get 10 minutes in here. But right now, I don't have any other projects going on. I had to repair this muffler back here because the hanger keeps breaking. I don't know why. I need to readjust it. I got it up too high, so I'm going to have to readjust that hanger. But I ain't going to do that now. I'm going to be going on a cruise tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to videotape that or not. Yeah, I guess that's about it. That's what I learned from my AC experience. You can, I know when, like I was saying in the last video, if you have problems with your AC and ask me, I probably can't help you. You're probably better off searching, doing a search or watching some other videos. I'm not going to do like a detailed video on charging or all that. There's a lot of people that actually do this sort of thing for a living that can go over it better than I can. The only thing I can say is make sure you run a vacuum, and then make sure it holds the vacuum after you're done vacuuming. This way, you know, you don't have any leaks. I think professional AC repair people will actually fill the system with nitrogen and check for leaks, stuff like that. So hopefully I won't have to deal with that AC system again for a very long time. I hope this... oh, one other thing I should go about is my vents. Since I did the evaporator, I have a lot more air coming out my vents. And the reason is, in here, like right here, see where that split is? That's all sealed, right? And then right here is sealed. I went over that, I think, in the last video. I sealed that with caulking and automotive caulking. And I sealed up all these with weather stripping, the sticky weather stripping like you use around your doors and windows in the house that you get at Home Depot. And I made sure all where it bolts to the firewall was all sealed good. And I can definitely tell an increase in the amount of air coming out inside the cabin, where before, if you were to run your blower, if you go run your blower motor without the engine running, you know, turn your AC on or whatever, so the fan blower motor's blowing on high, feel around here, and if you feel air coming out like around here, or anywhere else into your engine bay, that's probably why you're not getting good air coming out your vents inside the cabin of the car, inside the interior of the car. Yeah, I guess that's it. Oh, one other thing I did is I had this insulation laying around, so I did this one pipe. This gets ice cold. I've seen cars come from the factory with these wrapped in insulation, the accumulator dryer. And I could probably do this pipe here too, if I get some more of this. Probably not a bad idea. And that just helps keep the cold air, keeps this colder until it reaches the evaporator, which is where you want the cold, not in the engine bay. Yeah, at least I don't. Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, I guess that's it. I hope this was helpful. I definitely learned a lot. Definitely learned about this variable pressure valve. If you have the manual control system, you could probably use this with no problem. I don't see why not. If you have the C68 climate control system in your C4 Corvette, you want to stick to the factory one. If you're not sure, just stick to the factory one. Yeah. Other cars, I'm not sure how well this would work. So if you have experience, leave comments down in the comment section. And I know in comments, when I bought this, there were a lot of good comments for this product. Most people liked it. Only one person had a negative review, and that's because this valve stuck. Or at least according to him, this stuck and it didn't work. So, I don't know. I guess that's it. Everybody have a great day, and God bless.